Hey scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be creating a double page layout featuring some of my stamps and thin cuts. As you can see, I already have this tree stamped that is from my freshly picked. I will also be stamping this basket here filled with apples. And then I have the seasonal goodie baskets. I'll be stamping the apples and the basket here. I thought about doing this wooden crate as well, but it matches that other one, so I decided to go with that basket. These stamps do come with the thin cuts. Before I cut these out, though, I am going to be using my tri-blend markers to color these in. I did use my intense black ink to stamp these, so when I color these in with my tri-blend markers, that ink won't be bleeding on me. I'm going to be using the orange color. The darkest one has more of that red hue. And then I'll be bringing in my tan for the crates. I'm debating which green to bring in, but I do decide to bring in that dull green for all the leaves. The nice thing about these markers is they come with 3 different shades. So each marker has a light, medium, and dark color. The apples in this crate are so small that I do decide to just do the dark shade. I don't do a whole lot of shading on these small ones. On the bigger apples, I do go into the medium and light and blend it out to make it look more shaded. Alright, I got all of these colored and die cut here. This basket does cut that slit in there, so it's really nice. You can go ahead and insert your apples, or this stamp also comes with flowers, pumpkins, presents, everything for every season. So whatever you want to stick in that basket, it's nice that that has that little slit. I'm going to be bringing in these mix-ins. They're from the September-October mix-in collection. I brought in some white daisy cardstock to build my layout on. I'm just getting that adhered down to my Versamat so I can get everything lined up nicely. And then I'm bringing in that toffee colored pattern paper, just determining what size I want that. I'll be bringing in some photo mats here so I can play around with how I want my layout. These photos here are 3x4s, and then I have that nice gap in the upper right hand corner for some embellishments. I'm bringing in that toffee paper here. I cut that down to about 8 inches by 12. Just bringing in those 3x4s again here, just making sure that's the size I want for my pattern paper. I decided to cut off about 2 inches on that right hand side to bring it over to the next layout, just to extend that page more. I brought in the title Homegrown Memories from the Good Life Scrapbooking Stamps and Thin Cuts. I brought in some of the red pattern paper, just thinking I would border that toffee paper. I'm not sure which shade I want to use, which side. This one has more of that grid pattern to it, and then the other one is more of that gingham plaid. And then I brought in those apples just to decide which pattern paper looked best with my embellishments. I decided to go with this plaid paper for the borders. Just laying out my title here to see if I have enough room up top. And then I'm thinking of bringing some plain cardstock over to the right hand side. So I brought in a couple different shades of brown, and then the cardstock is double-sided. So the dark side versus the light side. This one's looking a little too red, orange next to these papers. So then I bring in the espresso color. And I do like how that espresso color is looking next to those pattern papers. I went ahead and cut that down. And then I decide I want to distress all of my pages here. So I'm just removing those photo mats, and I'm bringing in my black ink to distress those edges. I'm bringing in my T-square ruler to help me get those pattern papers lined up. I decided to recut my espresso paper so that it went all the way up to those red pattern papers. Just bringing my photo mats back in. And then I'm bringing in those embellishments, just determining where I want those. I decided to go ahead and get my title stamped here, so I'm just grabbing a block. And I'm using my intense black ink once again here. I did practice a few times on some scrap paper since we are going directly onto the layout. I have my foam underneath the paper there. I do give it a few moments to soak in, so just leaving it and pressing lightly. And there we go. I'm bringing those embellishments back in. I'm going to get that tree tape down here. I'm not putting the tape all the way to the edges since I do still have to put my photo on there. And then this little crate of apples I am going to pop up on 3D foam tape. I went ahead and adhered this basket of apples. I bring in a zip strip, thinking maybe it needs a little something to block in those papers against the white. But then I decide against the more red, and I bring in my pen and just do some dash marks along the sides. Here I'm taking a look at the layout, thinking I'm pretty well finished. And then I decide, no, let's bring in some more black ink and go around all of the edges just to finish it off. Well guys, that is the finished layout here. I am going to be adding my journaling in that upper right hand corner on the espresso. I hope this inspired you to get out your stamps and thin cuts to make some embellishments. And until next time, live a life worth scrapping. Bye guys.